Good morning, welcome to day 104 of my Munros challenge. Today I'm walking route number 50. I'm at Atterdale Gardens and the Walkers car park near Loch Carron. Two Munros today, long way out. Lurg Mhor, which is the big shin, and Bidein Corrie Sheasgaich, which is the corrie of the milkless cattle. Now I've got my mountain bike and the plan is to get as far as I can up this track on the mountain bike before squatting it somewhere and bagging the Munros. So let's get on with it. So far it's quite a good track to mountain bike on. I'm not sure whether we'll be hanging a right and going over that track over there, which might end up pushing my mountain bike over, but we'll see. Yes, we did go up that previous hill and it looks like there's another hill to go up here. Doesn't look as steep, but I might eat my words. Wow, looks like we've got a couple of Munros over there. Hey, now I'd be lying to you if I didn't tell you about that not being hard work. It was hard work, and I can't say I cycled all of it. I did do a fair bit of pushing. There you go. I think we're on a pretty flat track now for a while, all the way to the bothy. So there you go, there's the lodge and the bothy. So I'm going to cycle past and you can see beyond there's like a fork in the track. It goes left and right. I'm going to look to leave the bike somewhere over there. So I've left the bike at the crossroads. We're heading up this track here, up the glen, just to show you round. There's the bothy and the lodge, and there's the track we've come down, skirting up to that Bielach right up at the top. So we've got some hard work going back, but once you get to the Bielach you reap the benefit of the bike. So that's Loch Calvey. Now then, the guidebook had a fabulous description of this, or one of the guidebooks. It suggested it's got lonely shores, because we've got to go down to the shore before we hang a left. The lonely shores of Loch Calvey. How nice is that? I'm just looking up and I think the summit of Lurg Mhor is just beyond over there. I suspect we're going to climb up to that Bielach and hang a right and make our way up to the summit, which is probably just beyond what you can see up there. What a fabulous spot for a wild camp. Anyway, we didn't wild camp, we mountain biked. So the landowner has kindly put some signage in recommending the route. So we'll go up to the Bielach. We'll do Lurg Mhor first, I think. Although the landowner put a sign in as a suggested route, there isn't a route, it's pathless. So just making my way up to the Bielach. I'm following the side of this burn. So almost at the Bielach. That was hard work. I think I've still got the Culling Ridge in my legs. Oh, so that's Bidein Corrie Sheasgaich over there, and beyond it's much higher this side, so you can't see the top, is Lurg Mhor. There you go, Lurg Mhor, up in the clouds. Hopefully it's not wet up there. Wow, there's 3 Munros over there. That was a huge day out. I remember that day well. I'm just looking back down the glen, and you can see the scar of the road, the track that we came down. We've got to head back over to get back to the car park. Quite steep and rocky. So we're in and out of a faint path. I believe the top is just beyond the rise that you can see ahead. Very rocky, but not as rocky as the Culling Ridge, I have to say. Oh my God, we've got a top and a view and no cloud. It must be a week since this has happened. Oh, Lurg Mhor. Wow. Let's have a look. I say them 3 Munros over there, they were a huge day. That's where we're going next, over there. Looks like we've got a ridge down here. Wow, look at that. That's fantastic. I've just been having a sandwich looking over at Torridon and basically all the big hills, and it's a weird feeling when you think, do you know, I've climbed all of them. It's just a fantastic feeling. And well, all barring this one in front of me, which we're about to do now, Bidein Sheasgaich. And 2 people appeared on the top of the next summit. They're up there now, so I wasn't sure we're going to see anybody today, so I'll probably cross over with them when they make their way to this one. Just dropping down to the Bidein, and there's a dry stone wall down there, and I can see a faint path just winding its way up the ridge side. I suspect it'll take me all the way to the top. So I'm back in the Bidein. You can see the remains of a dry stone wall there, and a very faint path zigzagging up this side here, which we're going to pick up and follow to the top. The path has been vague in places. I just picked it up again on the last pull to the top, as it were, and it looks to have steepened up as well. So it's going to be a short, sharp pull to the summit. So this is it, Bidein Sheasgaich. What a view! What a view! 3 Munros over there. Now I was going to retrace my steps and drop to the Bidein and go down and follow it round, but I've spied a track following the ridge top over there. I'm tempted to take that and drop down that way, just for a bit of variety. In fact, I think I'll do that, make a change. Just looking back up at the summit, and I just remembered, apparently it's also known as the cheesecake, and apparently that's from people who have got the Gaelic mixed up, maybe. I forget the story, but it is the milkless cattle it translates to, but the nickname is cheesecake. There you go, that's what I've been told. So I'm going to drop down this ridge. I'm going to follow the ridge over there, and then I'm going to drop down and try and find a way to that track. So a bit of fun and games. So I'm just passing this small lochen on this grassy ridge top. There is a faint path which keeps disappearing and reappearing, and I'm going to follow this this ridge right into that rocky lump at the end before I hang a left and drop down. Just looking back up, quite a rocky mountain from here. You can just see the first one peeping out over there. I'm still on this grassy ridge. As you can see, there's a definite path, so I'm going to follow it to the end and see if the path disappears. I suspect it will, and make my way down to the track. So I'm at the head of the ridge, and I think it's known as Sail Ribach. So I'm going to continue. You can see the bothy down there, so I'm just going to head pretty much that direction. I can't see any paths anymore. Yeah, so we'll head over that direction because my mountain bike's down there, and you can see the scar cutting all the way up through the next glen, where we're going to have to take the bike up before we've got the long descent. So I can see the lodge and the bothy. I can also see the junction where I left my bike. That's pretty much the direction I'm going to head in. It's all pathless, looks quite steep, so watch my footing. Very steep and grassy, rocky. You have to pick the best line you can, really. Sooner or later I'm going to meet up with that track down there where I'll hang a right and get back to the bike. So it's just picking my way down to the track as best I can. There we go, looking back up, I'm back on this track that we were on earlier. I just had to pick a line the best I could. Now just around the corner there'll be the junction where my bike's parked, maybe a quarter of a mile. So we'll get the bike and then we'll head back. So here we are, back at the bike. And that's the track we've got to get over. I think the high point's about 340 metres at the top of that road, so we've got a fair bit of climbing still to do. About 8 miles back to the van. Hi, welcome to day 104 of my Munro challenge. Today I walked route number 50 and it's Friday the 24th of June. I parked at Atterdale Gardens, the Walkers car park. I need to start by sending a special thanks to Keith, who lives in Laban, who suggested that I walked and indeed cycled in and out on this route. I had been extremely worried. In fact, I'd actually planned a different route totally to what I've actually done, going over from Sheasgaich, which would have been a huge day. So thanks Keith for talking me into doing it this way. Keith completed all the Munros last year, so I do use him, or have used Keith for some advice recently. So wow, here we go. It's about a 7.5 mile trek out on the tracks, and I took the mountain bike, and I have to say it was quite hilly going out, and I didn't ride it all. I did do a fair bit of pushing, full rucksack, lots of water on board, you know, so I wasn't really of a mind to use all my energy just getting the bike up the first hill. So but once you get to the top of the first hill, you know, you're on your bike and you very, very quickly get down to the bothy, and you can immediately see the benefit of taking a bike. I left my bike at the crossroads, where you continue up another track all the way up to the lonely Lochen. Fabulous, beautiful. What a spot for a wild camp. If you want to do this with a wild camp, do it wild camp there. So you kind of head up a pathless section, although there is a sign saying the suggested route. There's a myriad of routes I suppose you could do, because it's all pathless and there's various burns going up to the Bielak. So when you get to the Bielak, there's a very faint path right going up to Lurg Mhor, and you're in and out of the path, and crossing various bits of I'd say scree, but rocky sections, heading up. Lurg Mhor is a higher one of the two, but it's nothing too difficult, let's say. Awesome views. I was taking a breath away because it was cloudy when I'd set off, and I was fully expecting to be in cloud at the top, and I could see across to Torridon, and indeed the 3 Munros that I'd done previously in I think it was probably September when I did. I think it was Sheasgaich, Hurricane and Mayo Lundai were the 3 that you're looking across at, and that was a huge day. So it's just fabulous views. Drop back down to the Bielak, and you've got a steady climb up to Bidein a Corrie Hiski until you get to the last section where it really ramps and it gets quite steep. Now I'd originally thought I'd drop back to the Bielak and down the pathless section down to the Lochen and follow the path back to the bike, but considering how much time I'd already spent on these tracks, and I did notice a ridge path which I opted to take. Eventually you get to the end of the ridge and you become pathless again, but you're going to be pathless anyway. And I dropped down to the track just before I got to the bike, and I think it was a great thing to do. I have to say the bike ride going back was far easier than the bike ride coming out. I rode an awful lot of it up the hill to the Bielak on the Land Rover track, and you just reap your rewards on the other side, dropping down to the car. Fabulous day, really. Nothing to be worried out at all. I mean, the guidebooks talks about camping, bothies, huge days. Well, with the mountain bike option, it took me 8.5 hours. Well, it was actually less than 8.5 hours. It is 24.5 miles, but I would imagine probably 15 of that will be on your mountain bike on the tracks. And there's a massive 5,203 feet of ascent.